Math 102, example 3.1.1, version B. So we've looked at linears and quadratics. Now let's look at polynomial functions. And to begin with, let's start with the degree of a polynomial. This is going to be very important to us, and that is simply the largest exponent. Now, we're going to see more things that we can predict later. For now, the first thing we're going to predict is the end behavior. So the far left and then the far right. So we don't necessarily know what's going on in the middle, but I can predict the two sides. So here, my leading term is a times x to the n. So that means the n is my degree, and the a we call the leading coefficient. So if my degree n is even and my leading coefficient a is positive, both sides go up. If my degree n is even and my leading coefficient a is negative, both sides point down. We saw this with quadratic functions. If my degree n is odd and my leading coefficient a is positive, then it goes down on the left and up on the right. And finally, if my leading coefficient, or my degree n is odd and my leading coefficient a is negative, it goes up on the left and down on the right. So let's look at some polynomials. Let's start with f of x is x to the fourth minus 6x minus 4. So the degree, again, is the largest exponent, which is 4, and that's an even number. My leading coefficient, I'm going to use LC as short for that. Here, there's nothing written down, so it is an understood one, but more importantly, that's positive. So this should be my first case. Both sides are going up. Now, if we forget what these look like, or if we just want to check, we can graph these functions on our calculator. So I've got that first one typed in, and let's hit graph to see what it looks like. Again, it's doing stuff in the middle. You can see it's a little bit sharper, that slope on the left, so we don't necessarily know why it's doing that yet, but we can see that on the left and on the right, it is going up. All right, let's try our next function. I've got g of x is negative 3x to the sixth plus x squared minus 4. So here, the degree is 6, that's an even number. My leading coefficient is negative 3, that's a negative number. So this is going down on both sides. Let me scroll this down. My next one, I've got 2x cubed minus x squared plus 2x minus 4. So here, my degree is 3, and my leading coefficient is 2. So I've got an odd degree and a positive leading coefficient. So this will go down on the left and up on the right. And finally, k of x is negative 12x to the seventh plus x minus 4. So my degree is 7, that's odd. And my leading coefficient is negative 12, which is negative. So it will be going up on the left and down on the right. Again, if we want to check these, or if we forget, we can graph these functions on our calculators.